Hello, and welcome to a Wicked Parley. And today we're going to be playing some Halo while talking about the
The news. What's
news.
new in the news,
Yeah,
people? I am going to perish so gosh darn hard.
yeah, aren't we all? That's just a reality. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world today that's interesting. And for me, the thing that I caught my attention this week was what was going on with my favorite, not really favorite, I would say like most utilized game studio in the last, let's say, 10 years, Bungie. Well, really, to be fair, what, 20 plus years, because I'm a diehard Halo fan. But
Hmm.
there was some tragic stuff that happened in the Bungie studio. They laid off a ton of people. Like, I think
Oh gosh, how many did they lay off?
roughly 100 people. It's the exact number isn't
My
100%
goodness.
like clear, but apparently, for those who don't know
Interesting.
about this, apparently there was a projection of how many pre-sale orders of the Final Shape expansion were
Uh-huh.
set, and apparently they didn't reach that. They 45% missed their mark on that, and
Oh
who
gosh.
knows what the actual number of orders was, but either way, Sony basically told them, "Hey, it's time to cut down the people because they're not getting the job done." It's like, and I'm hearing from other YouTubers, I'm hearing from other like news outlets, like what's been going on, and it sounds really shady, like really bad.
This
Uh,
is the game mode. Oh, this one happens to be one of the games that you can sprint on. Oh gosh.
is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, I don't want to run into death. Don't kill me. I am just a humble little blue guy. Damn it.
Anyway, you were talking about Bungie laying off a crap
Yeah,
of ton
yeah.
of
So
people.
so they laid off a whole bunch of people, and you think that okay, like that's normal. Like it's the game. Like I think this particular year has not exactly been great for like game publishers and stuff like that. Like a lot of jobs have been lost,
Oh gosh.
and
Uh-huh.
supposedly, the jobs that were lost were mostly surrounding publicity and
Uh-huh.
not actual production stuff.
Those
But
little suckers are hiding in the corner.
yes, they are. But that's not really what some of the things have said. Like one of the people that were lost to this like round of layoffs actually was someone that's pretty important. I would imagine, the guy
Uh-huh.
who basically created Halo soundtrack
Yeah.
as well
Yeah.
as all the music inside both Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 was one of the people they laid off. Yeah,
Jeez.
not great. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, here we're in for the final shape. It's like this could be the final part of the franchise. Like this. It isn't like this is the end of the saga. It's like this is the end of
Oh.
everything. And I don't know. I'm not.
Fair.
I'm not feeling like happy about it, to be honest. Like
I
it.
don't think a lot of people are.
Yeah, there's a person that I know from like gaming and stuff
Oh,
like
come
that
on.
that had pre-ordered the last expansion. Like the last expansion, the expansion, well, probably the last expansion, but the Final Shape expansion, and they pulled the
Mm-hmm.
pre-order, and I do not
Oh.
blame them at all. Like not even a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. I mean, the idea. Well, I should maybe give some more background information because I'm making a lot of assumptions right now about everyone knowing
Mm-hmm.
more about this.
Yeah, explain it to me like I have no idea what's going on.
Sure. So, in a nutshell,
Which is very fair because ouchie crikers.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. But
Oh,
so in a nutshell, basically, Destiny goes through an annual expansion, like a major expansion every
yeah.
year for the most part. That's been kind of like the model they've used recently. It's not always been the case, but that's the general gist. Anyways, so the annual expansion is usually a kind of got a hefty price tag on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And with it, it comes usually with a lot of like kind of like bells and whistles. You get some stuff that's kind of nice, get some exclusive things, and you get kind of like a discount on some purchases throughout the year that you
Mm-hmm.
otherwise would have to pay full price for, and it ends up being a little bit more money than you would if you had bought it individually. Well,
Mm-hmm.
everyone was supposed to get the final shape was supposed to come out in February. Well, actually, originally it was supposed to come out actually earlier, but they pushed it back. And
Mm-hmm.
now, well, there's not been an official announcement about this. When they did the layoffs, some rather ruffled feathered, Bungie former Bungie employees, essentially said, that they were going to push back the final shape, as well as some of their other titles they're working on, and it's some dramatic stuff. For instance, the final shape, which was supposed to come out, in February, that had gotten already pushed back, is now going to get pushed back all the way to June. And
That is quite the number of months. That's like 4 months.
yeah, it's a huge deal, but it's an even bigger deal because Destiny uses a seasonal model, so they use like seasonal content to kind of like to kind of like balance out activities and kind of like
No.
have player retention and whatnot. And now they're gonna have like this super long season
Oh,
with no real content to draw players in right before the
Hate
final
it.
chapter. And because of all of that, you kind of have a situation where a lot of people are like, why am I even playing this game? And like other YouTubers that are covering it are like, of course I'm going to play the game. I'm going to see it to its conclusion. I've spent all this time doing this. And that's fair. But I also see why a lot of players are like, after this, I think I'm done. I'm calling it in. I'm going to find other games to play. And for me, I totally get that. And I think that's a healthy response, I think, to the situation. Because I don't think that the way Bungie has been doing things makes sense. Because they've monetized the shit out of their game. You can't scratch your ass without having a microtransaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you're not.
It's like exaggeration, yes. Accurate, yes.
I mean, okay. I want you to think about this, right? Like, you're playing a game, okay?
Yeah.
And they have a holiday event, okay? Holiday event that are supposed to bring players together, bring people into the game to be active, right?
Yeah.
In Destiny, for several years, there used to be seasonal activity that kind of followed in that particular way. Then a few years ago, they decided, hey, you know what would be great? Let me go ahead and put a paywall for some of the stuff that you get that you would normally get for free.
Oh, lovely.
And then they make it in such a way that it seems like, oh, hey, you need to buy this to participate. But the truth is that you only need it to be able to get some of the stuff that's offered that season. It's just annoying. It's like super obnoxious.
Especially for people who don't exactly have the largest of wallets.
Yeah. And the thing is that's interesting, I think at least it's interesting. To me,
come on.
It's interesting. I think I might have killed you at the very end there. I apologize. I was trying to shoot a barrel and I think you stood directly in the way. And
I have no idea. Yeah. That was an Zephyr's here.
Oh, cool.
Your buddy who plays Destiny is boycotting the game because of what's going with Bungie here. Sounds accurate.
That totally makes sense. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I am actually in a position where I'm pretty pissed about Sony, not even Bungie. My reasoning for being upset at Sony is the fact that they increased the PlayStation Plus subscription by such a large margin that it, to me, doesn't make any sense. And I feel kind of like stuck because I don't really want to be in the situation of I have to pay $80 to be able to play an online game like Destiny, which I have to annually at least pony up another $100 to play their latest content. So it's like you pay to play something, and it's like, well, Destiny,
to maybe play something.
Yeah, and Destiny can be played on the PC, of which you do not have to pay for the $80, the PlayStation Plus kind of thing. And I feel like if you can do that, then why can't I do that on the PlayStation? Why do I need PlayStation Plus in order to access all this content? And actually, when I say all this content, I mean, think about this. It's content that I paid for. You know what I mean? Like, it's content that's already been acquired, and I should have continual access to it. It shouldn't be, I'm at the restriction of behest of this. And so I just kind of like lost.
If you unlock the thing already, why do I have to do it again?
Exactly. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the fact of the matter is that like I'm sure at some point in the future they're going to offer Destiny 2 like some sort of bundle deal to put it on Steam, like all together. Because like they've already done something like that once where you could freely transfer everything over. I just didn't have a computer to do that at that time. Like there wasn't, I didn't have a decent gaming computer that could handle the game, so it didn't make sense to transfer all that. And it wasn't like you can double dip, you know. It was like you have to transfer everything, and now you're stuck to that particular platform. And I'm just like, that's not my place. It's not where I really wanted to
Fair.
do things.
Zephyr saying this is why they're mainly a Nintendo gamer.
Oh hey, yeah, Nintendo's a great thing, but they're to be fair though. Okay, all right. So there's two parts of this. Like, so if you think about like Nintendo, right?
Oh gosh.
Like they have an online model, all right. And I'm not gonna lie, their online system
Oh gosh.
is not expensive, and it does offer a lot. I mean a lot, and a lot of stuff, a lot of value. Personally, like the old Nintendo games. Oh my god, their library of what they put on there, I totally 100% enjoy all the time. I mean, I love the old Pokemon card game, and the fact that's on the Game Boy now. It's like, like they have a Game Boy player. I'm like, yeah, let's do that. But I also don't like the fact that their online network, it feels sluggish. Their console is lagging
Oh,
behind.
the sheer lag
Yeah.
sometimes. I've seen it on other like YouTube streamers who play like Mario Party, and oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah, to me, it's like their network is not. I mean, it's not expensive, but it's also not smoothly operating either. And for me, I need that smooth operation for me to have confidence in using it. And so that's kind of where my issue is. But it's not like it's bad. It's just it's not performing the way I need it to perform. So it's not something that I can go, yeah, this is so great. I'm gonna use that. But I definitely think it's worth the money that they put down because they're not asking for $80 a subscription. I think like the highest it might get is $40. You know, and I think there's other options, so they're not
Sounds like
as
half of the
much.
gas tank.
Yeah, and it's definitely like I think that like for a subscription service that's annual, I think $60 or less, depending on what services are offered, is reasonable. I think the price of a game, kind of like the price of admission, is fair. But I think $80 for me is a stretch. And keep in mind, $80 only gets you the bare bones version. There are like premium versions of PlayStation Plus that offer more, and
Oh,
and they cost a lot more.
sorry.
So,
I just got a double kill and died immediately.
well, hey,
But
double kill's still nice.
that.
But yeah, so like to me, like what's going on with Bungie is crazy though, because Bungie
hmm
for the longest time
Oh,
had the record had the entire like, I mean, the reputation of being a family company.
uh-huh.
Like they were kind of seen as the oh well, we're gonna get through tough times together, you know.
hmm
But
Haha, lies.
it's not.
Oh, come on.
Oh dang, he got me. But that's not really what's been going on. It feels very different, and I don't think it's very good. I mean, especially, I mean,
hmm
I'm a huge fan of the YouTuber Azzacross. I really like his
Yeah.
content. I like the way he approaches things, and he's very personable, and I think that's great. And it
hmm
comes very clearly through his videos, and
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. And he had some really like, I mean, emotion response to a lot of the stuff that was going on, and I think his criticisms and situation of what he was talking about was completely fair. Um, I've talked to a few other people who also have played Destiny. I mean, literally as long as I have. I
Oh,
mean, I've been playing Destiny since the beta of Destiny 1. So, you know, when I say I've been there in the trenches playing the game, buying the expansions for a long time. You know, I'm familiar. I know. I mean, am I the most
you're a
dedicated?
veteran.
Yeah, I'm
You're
not the
one of the
I'm not,
old OGs.
certainly I think I would qualify in that particular category. Am I like super like, you know, intense, like crazy good at the game?
Yeah.
Hell no. You know, am I very familiar with a lot of the stuff and history of all the things that have happened? Certainly so. I would not call myself like an expert by any measure, but I would say that I understand enough about
hmm
the game to play a lot of its challenging content in a way that is, you know, I would say fair for any person who's played the game. Can I do cool things? Sure. Can I?
Crackle pot.
Yeah. Can I do things? Absolutely. But the point of the matter is that like the whole time I always had the impression that Bungie was gonna, you know, maybe they may make some mistakes, but they're not gonna
This
throw their
seems
people under the bus.
more like a faux pas.
It is well, it was a big faux pas, but to me, it was kind of like or so when one of Azzacross early videos discussing this particular matter in this week, he kind of mentioned the fact that he kind of felt like the move kind of felt like an
hmm
accountant. You know, like a
mm,
business accountant was kind of looking at this thing
yeah.
and kind of like, hey, we're gonna cut these people because they're the ones that are pulling the most money away from the company, and you know, I mean, it wasn't like it's clearly stated that that was the case, but it kind of may have looked that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's kind of wrong. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
swear that one of the enemy combatants is just standing still.
I think so. I killed a guy who looked like they were just kind of zoning out. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there long enough to see, but it definitely seemed that he wasn't moving as much as he could. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah. So back to what we were talking about. Like,
Yeah, no. Yeah, Bungie's the whole talking about Bungie reminds me of what the heck Unity's doing.
what's Unity doing?
Unity, so you know how Unity is like this gaming programming software thingy-mabobber, right?
Yeah.
According to some of my sources and according to some of my sources, apparently starting like next year, I don't know if they've pulled the idea or not, but at some point next year, I think in January, essentially for every game that uses the Unity software, for their stuff,
Uh huh.
for every download, they're going to charge the creator.
Oh no way! Are you serious?
hmm hmm
So then, what the point? What the heck?
So yeah, a bunch of game creators are like, saying boycott Unity.
Yeah,
And a lot of people who like the games that are currently using Unity, it says like buy the games before the year is out
makes
and
sense.
do not purchase from Unity after the fact. Because it's like
Yeah,
that nobody it's just like no, the people who want to buy the games, want to pay the creator, not pay the
yeah, like
not have them fined.
yeah. That's crazy.
hmm
I'll put it this way, Bungie. If I definitely think there is some there are definitely some parallels with that situation and Bungie, in certain aspects. The main thing that I would say. Oh no, that guy totally got me. Um, the main thing I would say is that it seems like Bungie stops caring about their people they're working for and the quality of the content they're offering, and they're starting to look at things from a more money situation. I mean,
Mm.
they sold. So Bungie basically got bought by Sony, not too long ago, and they got like a huge amount of money, right? Like we're talking like almost. I think it was almost like $4 billion
Oh gosh.
or some shit like that, right? It was a crazy sum of money, and the thing about
Zephyr saying the hell. Yeah,
I
whatever.
know. And so like the thing is that you would think that if you got almost $4 billion, that you would be like, cool, all right, we can now make games comfortably, we can pay for our employees and everything like that. It's totally fine.
hmm
Well, Bungie apparently has built a brand new headquarters that's cost several $100 million,
Oh boy.
and yeah, and
Lovely.
and to compound things, yo,
Oh, I got a podium finish.
oh nice, that's really cool.
Oh, great.
Hey, look, we're in the.
Although
We're in
I
the
did accidentally get friendly fire.
That's all right. Don't worry about it, dude. Oh my god, this guy got 36 kills. Jesus fucking Christ!
Kiwi was killing.
Yeah, he was. I'm scared of Kiwi.
Kiwi was the
We're backing out of
MVP
this
on
for a
that
second.
one. It's-
We're gonna let that pass for a second. Anyways, like I was trying to say though about Bungie was the fact that Bungie has been really affecting in a negative way, in my particular opinion, the experience of the players of Destiny at really at their detriment. I mean, you can look back to a bunch of different situations, and a lot of people have talked about the issues surrounding it, but it seems like there's a game that Bungie is working on called Marathon.
Mhm.
It is a looter extraction shooter kind of game, and so
Okay.
so it's a very different kind of game than what a lot of people are used to. Halo, Destiny
Yeah.
are obviously big titles that a lot of people associate with Bungie, and the type of person who plays that kind of game is going to be very different than the people who are casually playing, PvP or PvE in Destiny or playing, Halo or something like that.
Mhm.
And essentially, there has been no major update to anything in Destiny 2 when it comes to the PvP side in a very long time. Like a very long time. And meanwhile, they're developing this whole new game. It's believed that a portion of people left the team to work on, essentially, the Marathon game. Now, recently a video came out where Azakros was, I guess, got some information, and he was talking about, hey, we got I talked to the developers saying that they left not because they were moved to, but because they were bored, because they had been working on Destiny for close to 10 years or
Yeah.
longer, and they just weren't interested in developing that game anymore. Well, that's cool. Why didn't they hire somebody else who was? You know what I mean? Like, well, that might be an answer for, okay, why you aren't there. Why was you weren't like replaced? You know what I mean? Like, why was it, that you didn't like go and get the next person who would have been qualified to take your spot? You know what I mean? Like, why was it that we're waiting on like some stuff? Oh jeez, I'm totally toast. That was me. Anyways, but like why didn't we see anything? Any major shakeups? Why were we getting screwed? And when I say screwed, I mean, why were we forced to pay for content that wasn't delivered? And a lot of people who are, let's say, a dedicated or a PvP main, right? What incentive do they have to buy the expansions when that has nothing to do with anything that goes on in the game? Other than acquiring weapons from raids and like dungeons, right?
Yeah.
Which largely have very little impact in the PvP space. There's like a handful of exotics or specific weapons that you'd have to be competitive. I mean, the vast majority of weapons are legendaries, and a lot of them come from activities that most people have access to that don't have everything. So, to me, I just kind of think, well, that's really bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's really shitty to think that you have to spend well over $100 to be able to play PvP. So if you're a dedicated PvP player, I think people would be rightfully pissed off about first the announcement about Marathon, and then the fact that they didn't hire anybody to replace the people who basically lost interest in developing the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Jiggling Finn is annoyingly sturdy.
Oh yeah, for sure. He is very good. He got me. Anyways, but so, I mean, all of that turmoil just spells really bad things, and then when you combine it with the fact that you got bad management making bad decisions, you got people coming from a corporate angle looking for money. Yeah, it paints the whole situation in such a negative light that I feel like it's almost impossible for them to fix their image. I mean, this is the company that released Halo. This is the company that basically people devoted their lives to playing their games. I mean, there are people who are famous YouTubers who make a living from playing Bungie games. And, I mean, hell, when I was in, like, college, early, in my years of college, I mean, I was the vice president of the Anime and Games Club at my college, and we hosted a Halo 3 tournament. I know it kind of dates me, but, like, I mean, it's, like, the point of the matter is that, like, hey, Bungie's had a foothold in gaming in a serious way that has affected a lot of people, and this whole situation just is really shitty for so many things, and I think it couldn't have come at a worse time. You know what I mean? Like, it really couldn't have. I mean, I think with the way the economy is, the way people's lives are, I mean, so few people have enough extra money to be able to live their lives that the one small little thing that, like, gets people through a hard week is, sometimes gaming with their buddies online. And a lot of people, that game for them is Destiny. You know what I mean? Like, it's true. I mean, like, and I think the lowest retention numbers probably ever, like, or damn near it, that I've ever seen happened recently. And I know there's been a couple times where player retention has been low, but I don't think anything like what we've seen. So it makes me sad. I mean, I feel sad. I mean, I love their games, and it makes me like just.
This game is not going. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's not going well for us. I'll be 1,000%.
Ah. Anything else about Bungie that just ruffles your feathers?
I mean, I think yeah. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? I mean, like, first of all,
so many things.
Like, the way I look at it is, how the hell do you fire the guy who made you know what I mean? Like, There were literally hundreds of people who mimicked that in a bathroom.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, come on. I mean, like that's.
Oh gosh.
How like
Behind
something
us.
so iconic? That person deserves a job for the rest of their fucking life, as far as I'm
If
concerned.
you can make something that iconic years
Yeah.
and years and years later, like, come
And
on,
not just
buddy.
it's not just one thing either. I mean, the guy literally made the sounds of almost all of the iconic Halo stuff.
Ooh.
You know, for like basically I
Okay.
think from Halo 1 to Halo 3 ODST, and then he went on to do Destiny, and I'm going to tell you right now, Destiny's got a shit ton of soundtracks. All right? Like there's not
Yeah.
it isn't
So
like
many.
a little bit, all right? This guy is like is a big deal, and to lose him, and I think he was working for Bungie before Halo 1's release. I mean, this guy was a long time guy, you know.
Hmm.
So that really, I mean, yes, people who are publicists and people who are like speaking for people, yeah, I can get it. It sucks. It's not great, okay, but why? You know, why'd you have to take out so many other people that I think were also equally valid and equally important? It's just it sucks, and the fact that like they did it on the 30th of October, and the way they had it set up was that like you basically had like a day to claim certain benefits and to handle certain things relating to like company stock, and because they were laid off, there were certain stock options they were entitled to, but if they quit or were fired, then they lost that entitlement. So Bungie was basically able to grab back all of that money that they basically had given to their employees. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this was literally the company doing a cash grab on the company. You know what I mean? Like, this is a hit job on themselves. And I don't know if I'll ever be in a situation where I will ever trust anything they ever say again. And I know that I'm just one person, but I mean, if I feel that way about it,
How many
other people are also going to feel that way?
Oh, we're back
about
to
it?
the old layout of the SWAT
Yeah, I
match.
see it. I'm not going to do well here.
Oh gosh! This map again, I hate it.
Yeah, I hate this map. I think, like, honestly, I'm going to change it so that way we don't play Halo 2 anymore. Or I think it's Halo 1, actually.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's Halo 1. This looks like Halo 1. But yeah, we're gonna get rid of that so that way it's done with. Because no.
Oh jeez. Okay.
Mm,
Ah, goodness gracious. Now that oh gosh, now that I think about it, might need to look at the audio again.
why?
Uh,
Why is that?
Because I don't know if the sound of the game is being captured right now. Oh, dang.
That's all right. It doesn't matter that much.
Okay.
But yeah,
Ah,
I mean the world's a fucking mess though. I mean, like,
the
outside of
world's a freaking mess. Besides Bungie, which is in the video game sector, along with the occupation, like employment sector, because oh boy, that's a big company.
yeah. I mean, obviously there's a whole bunch of shit going on. There's the whole thing with in Gaza and Israel and like the whole conflict over there. That's
Yeah.
a big problem. I mean,
Gosh, one of my supervisors had a snit with a couple of the educators at their campus.
why?
Essentially kind of put like an umbrella term on some of the things going on rather than, it like they were putting a straight up umbrella term on some of the atrocities happening.
Mm-hmm.
And when the email that they had sent out with the umbrella term like got sent out, and not only like a good majority of the student population, but also some of the faculty were getting concerned about their own safety with it because of it. Let's just say the supervisors who originally sent out the email didn't exactly have a good response, if any. My supervisor's been trying to get them to say something,
Dang.
but like the response they gave my supervisor sounded like it was taken directly from like ChatGPT or something.
Yeah, it could be. Like, to me, like, the thing that
I hate this mode.
I'm just getting spawn killed like constantly. I
Same.
make 2 steps forward and just get killed like right away.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like right here I'm dead. Yeah.
Oh,
I
jeez.
hate the fact I was killed by Alucard. That makes me sad. Like, I love Alucard. Like, God damn. Oh, wow. You're dead.
I think, yeah, one of our teammates just like straight up left. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck, I can't.
I don't blame. I don't, not even a little bit. It's fine.
But
You
yeah,
can't help
anyway,
but
all
laugh
those
here.
atrocities, it's just like,
Well, to me, like, the thing that I find kind of alarming about the whole situation has to do with the fact that it gets wildly misrepresented in the news.
oh
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, it's crazy. Like, for instance, like they talk about like the fact that that Palestine was basically being attacked by Israel in a super like uncool way. In the sense, I'm saying this in a super California situation. So like way I'm saying it, it's terrible.
get out of
Um,
here, get out of here, get
yeah,
out of here.
what I'm referring to specifically is the fact that they said that like Hamas claims that Israel like bombed a hospital, and the
Uh-huh.
fact that everything surrounding it is sort of, you know, Hamas may not necessarily be in the wrong for some of the things that they claimed, right?
Uh-huh.
Some of the things they've done, and I just think to myself, like, what country gives another country like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bomb, you know, you, but we're gonna let you know in advance, and then on top of that, there's also the fact that they tell like that they bombed a refugee camp. And when you think refugee camp, what do you think of? Like
People trying to
tents?
get away from the mess.
Well, I meant like what does it look like? You know, does it look like tents? Does it look like, you know, like people kind of like homeless, but like, like kind of having a mismatch of like, you know, things? Is that kind of what comes to your mind, or what comes to your
Kind of
mind?
like a like not really a village, but more like, last minute setup shacks and stuff like that.
Okay,
Something haberdashed together
yeah,
for security from at least the elements while
sure,
they're trying to run away type of scenario.
yeah, totally. I get that. So when it comes to the actual like look, it actually looks like a city. Because it was the yeah, I know, the refugee camps were set up in the 1940s, like late 1940s, and they were set up in such a way that they would be labeled as a refugee camp, so that way they can get extra aid from the United Nations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they look like a city. Like if you were looking at a map of the whole thing, it would look like
Yeah.
a city. You'd be very indistinguishable from anywhere else.
Yeah.
So, like when they say like they're bombing things, right? Like it's not really fair to say that like, oh hey, they're bombing innocent people when these people are intentionally operating within the limits of a city. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh hey, we're gonna sort of, you know, maybe do this. We're gonna, you know, that's not the case. Like they are in a metropolitan area and they are using like sewer systems and other things to conduct their, you know, illegal terrorist activities. And Israel is kind enough to let everyone know in advance, hey, we're gonna bomb this exact area. So if you're not part of this, leave now. You know, like I don't know how many places in the world like let the people know that we're going to bomb here in advance. You know what I mean? Like I don't think the U.S. has ever done anything like that, and I don't know of any other country that's done that too. So to me, it's the reporting that happens about what Israel's doing and stuff like that. I think is poorly represented of things that are kind of facts because it can be very misleading. You know, like
Oh
when they
yeah.
use terminology. Yeah, because like I said, like they like
Mm-hmm.
technically the area that was hit was a refugee camp, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it was indistinguishable from a city and indistinguishable from other activities that were clearly going on. It's kind of like imagine you have like a skyscraper, and on top of the skyscraper you are conducting, you know, like business, like a bank or something like that. But
Yeah.
below the skyscraper you got mobsters. You know what I mean? Like that's how crazy this is. You know, and so it's very like it's not
All the way
they
up the
want to
trees.
make it cut and dry, but it's not really cut and dry, and it's
Mm-hmm.
wrong. So that's kind of like what one of the things that I kind of was like looking at. I'm like that's really weird. You know what I mean? Like, that's not great. So, yeah. Yeah. There's other things going on in the news too, but I'm just curious. Do you have any interesting things that you saw that you're kind of like, hey, that's just
Nothing that I can come up with off the top of my head.
okay? How are you
Like,
feeling about like the potential of Trump being our
oh
president and
boy. Oh boy is all I can say just based
oh boy,
off of what I remember from the past and stuff like that.
oh yeah. I mean,
And then,
I've heard something kind of crazy that makes me wonder if it's true or not, and that is that Joe Biden might not be running as president next time around.
oh,
That it might actually be Gavin Newsom, which
who?
is California's governor.
Oh,
Yeah, and here's my only thought. Okay, if that's true, maybe there's something to it because he went and visited China,
uh-huh.
like a week ago,
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna lie, I work relatively close to the Capitol,
Yeah.
and the Capitol has been under like a remodel for like a while now,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah, one of my supervisors was talking about, a government shutdown
yeah, and so I feel like the stars are kind of like in line for something like that to happen.
for some.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh, thank goodness.
I know. I
I
mean,
was
like,
gonna lose my mind.
yeah.
But yeah. It's like, yeah, no, I don't really pay attention to politics. It's just, oh dear almighty.
Yeah, I can't help but
Oops,
pay
I got
attention.
another friendly fire.
Oh, of course you did. I can't help but pay attention to politics because of personal reasons,
Hmm.
and I can't help but feel like I really don't want to see, and I know this sounds terrible, but like I just don't agree with a lot of the Republican policies
Hmm.
surrounding certain parts of legislation aimed at immigration, at like trade with other countries, aimed at the way in which yes, you would say Social Security and other health systems are. What the hell is this? The mostly moist. I've never seen that before. That's crazy. But yeah, to me, I hate talking about politics because nothing ever good seems to come of it. But at the same time, it's also kind of like, well, it's important, so we should at least be sort of informed. And so I'll kind of like I'll kind of poke my head in and kind of like hear what's going on as many different sides as I can.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, when I hear people on the extreme left and on the extreme right talk, both equally terrify me. Like I feel like one side is extremely fascist while the other one is extremely like I would say like communist in some ways. Like it's neither system in the extreme I think makes sense. Neither of them
Mm.
instill confidence in me.
Oh,
They,
I
they,
don't like this man.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, me neither. Um, oh dear lord, and the firing has already started.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why so many people who talk about politics just instead of like hearing out the conversation like takes like a hard stance and just doesn't listen to anybody else. Like
Yeah.
I find it so strange because it's like if you want to gain knowledge, how do you gain knowledge? You ask questions.
Ask questions, listen to people. They are in their gosh darn spawning area.
I bet. um, and I don't know. Like to me, I really want to see conversations happen, and I want people to make informed decisions. And I
Hmm.
feel like we just have a structure right now where that's not like normally feasible.
It doesn't help that in order to have a conversation, it doesn't help if you just try to scream over the other person.
Yeah, which is also a big
A
reason why.
little bit.
It's one of the main reasons I hate Trump. He just if he's wrong, he's apparently like speaking to someone who's out to get him. It's like, or you're wrong. It's not rocket science, to be like, hey, maybe you don't start a war with your biggest trading partner. Maybe just figure out ways to coexist. You know, they're different people. They have different wants, different needs, different beliefs. Like, why do you have to dominate? You know, like,
Woo.
why can't we just all kind of coexist and like kind of respect each other's sovereignty and our ability to kind of like exist? You know, why does it have to be we're number one? We're always gonna be number one. If we're not number one, you can't be number one. Yeah, it just seems childish and stupid. Like, I don't understand. That guy is definitely not playing the game. That guy was sort of playing the game.
Oh gosh, darn it.
Yeah, I think I could have killed that person. I'm sorry.
Huh? Oh, were you with me?
I was behind the guy who killed you. Like, I killed two of his buddies, and he got away, and I hunted him down and killed him. But yeah, no.
So much panic fire. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to the mess that's going to be the elections next year.
Yeah, I mean, like, part of me wonders if I should even try and vote because I'm in
Oh,
California.
Fuckers.
Does my vote really even matter? You know what I mean? Like, I have like questions like that, and I just, I mean, no matter what I write down on the ballot, it will 100% be, you know, Democrat. Like, there's no way that, like, in this current situation, this current climate, that we're going to see anything other than that. Like, it's just not going to happen.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that guy totally deserved to kill me too, man. Anyways, but I just, it makes me wonder if, like, is it even worth going to vote when you just automatically know? Like, it doesn't feel like I have a voice. It feels like if I wanted to have a voice, I would constantly be moving to whatever state had the person who represented me best. But the problem is that even if I did that, it wouldn't represent everything. It would just represent whoever, like, you know, I was targeting. So if I was targeting the president or like a mayor or wherever, right? You know, like whatever political body I gave a shit about, that's where I'd be moving to, kind of thing. It's just like, well, am I going to move every like couple of years just so that way I can make sure that I can vote in the corresponding place that has a person I care for? It's like, that seems like a lot of work, and I don't know. I just don't think it's right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not thinking, oh, hey, this is the right play to go. It's more like, I think that, you know, build your life, make yourself comfortable, you know, figure out a path that makes you feel good, and do what you can in the moment politically for whatever. So I don't know. That's kind of my 2 cents on that part.
Son of a.
There's some other interesting things that I kind of like thought was kind of fun to talk about. Yeah, like, so I caught I like to watch occasionally the Joe Rogan Experience, and I caught the interview he had with Elon Musk, and I gotta say that interview was fascinating.
Oh, son of a.
Outside of the munching sounds from them eating pizza of one of the most bizarrest concoctions I've ever heard of. It was like pineapple and anchovies. It was just like, what the fuck? Like super.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like I was like, hey, what are the 2 most hated toppings? Let's go ahead and put them together.
I cannot freaking help at all.
Don't worry about it. I mean, whether we win or we lose, it does not matter. Yeah. I mean,
but seriously, pineapple and anchovy?
Yeah,
I've heard each of them separately, but like together?
No, together. They were like that all together. Like, salty and sweet is so amazing. And I mean, like, in a way, I kind of understand that. Like, but also at the same time,
They are all on the left, kind of ish. I don't know what direction that is anymore.
Oh, they're. I see them sort of. Oh dang!
Oh gosh!
Guy
right through the green barrier.
Yeah, right through the little green glass thing. It's like that was nasty. It was a good
Butthead.
shot, actually. But anyways, so the thing that I saw about that was interesting was he was talking about how, like, why he bought Twitter and now X, you know, and he was like he bought Twitter because he thought that Twitter at that time was toxic to humans, that it was a corrosive thing, it was destroying our civilization. And
sounds accurate.
I know. Like, when you hear about it, you're like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Darn it.
It's totally making sense now. It's like,
Two of those suckers, yep.
Yeah, I see him. All right, got those three of them at least. Anyways, so but like I understood that, and Joe Rogan was all like, "Yeah, you did humanity a huge favor." And he was like, "Thank you," and like he smiled and was like, "Yeah," kind of thing. But the truth is, I think he was actually onto something, and he also said some stuff that was super fucking crazy. That like
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
I didn't know.
gosh darn it.
Oh, what the heck? My controller just like stopped moving for a second. What the hell?
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Yeah, it's totally not good. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, now I'm moving again. I'm like, wait, what the hell happened here?
This game is such a tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's close. Anyways, so one of the things that was kind of disturbing that kind of came out was the fact that the government kind of used Twitter as a propaganda machine.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I know, right? And then like the thing that like made me kind of like go, what, really? Is the fact that it wasn't like propaganda of like government stuff like equally. It was very like one-sided stuff. It was, for the most part, democratic. Like the Democrats controlled basically most of the shit that was being said on Twitter until Elon bought it. Now he kind of made it like a space where everyone has a voice, and so it's like it's the combination of humanity. Is kind of
Double kill right at the end. Oh my god.
Damn. That was a close game.
I got them, but they got me.
Well, hey, you know what? At least you shot him, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. You know?
Gosh. It was a melee kill.
But so anyways, the thing that was crazy, like I said, was the fact that like it was so much of it was controlled,
Mm-hmm.
and that to me is quite alarming. Like it's not great.
Mm-hmm. All right, you up for another one or nah? It's the 47 mark.
Yeah, no. I think we'll go ahead and call it here. I mean, I think that like anybody who's interested in hearing about any of this stuff, we'll go ahead and throw like some links in the description below, and you can email the show if you want to hear anything more about it. But I think that's pretty much it. I hopefully Bungie finds a way to turn the ship. It would surprise me if they
turn the ship around.
Yeah, if they can. Certainly when it comes to community input, like I think a lot of faith has been lost this week, and I think that what's been going on with Israel and Palestine, but more specifically a terrorist faction, I hope that gets resolved. But these conflicts have been going on for a long time, so unlikely. And then obviously everything else that we've talked about. But yeah, I mean, this is what's been going on. Let us know if you like this particular content by hitting that like button. If you don't like this content, then let us know, but please don't hit the dislike button. like we'll change it. I swear. Don't make our account suck.
We'll accept a neutral, please.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, I would like to bring some more content similar to this, where we just kind of have a discussion, throw some games on. If you have any suggestions of games you'd like to see, feel free to contact us either on Discord or anywhere really that you feel able to reach us. Yeah, that's basically it. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night, and we'll see you all in the next one.